Yeah, it should be. Hello, everyone. Sorry for the technical difficulties. This is our first live event. This light here behind me is killing me. That's okay. We'll just deal with it. Blocking the Mandalorian painting. My name is Josh Vodasek, and this is JC Demiri. We are the founders of Hallowed Meadows, which is an account manager for OnlyMoso's bamboo farming. What we primarily do is help with new farmer customer education, business planning, setting all the proper expectations with farmers and setting them up for success, new farmers, and then helping manage that account for the foreseeable future. So a quick little history of bamboo. The majority of bamboo here domestically that has been farmed or nurseries are for landscaping applications, and the bamboo is sold obviously to landscaping companies or just to residential homeowners for cosmetic applications. It's not until just recently, a couple years ago, when OnlyMoso and their experienced European and Asian team took their experience and brought that here domestically to the United States in order to set up a domestic farmer network to produce edible shoots in the spring as a crop that's nutritious and delicious and sold in markets all around the country as fresh edible shoots, as well as for the processing of the raw materials, the timber canes, which are harvested in the fall. So this is just a new opportunity in the past couple of years here domestically to become a bamboo farmer. And it's actually quite surprisingly a cash crop with the demand for the edible shoots. So real quick, before we really segue into the economics of a bamboo farm, I'm going to quickly touch on some of the sustainable aspects of it, as in that's kind of important for us in general. The economics are nice, but doing something good for the planet is just as nice, if not nicer. So bamboo in general has, you plant it once and then it harvests every year from there on out. So there's no real destructive harvesting techniques or farming techniques done to the soil. It really is a soil regenerative plant. It helps regenerate the natural biology and the nutrients in the soil itself, as well as it helps prevent erosion. The plant produces 5 times more oxygen when compared to trees by mass. So it sucks in a lot of CO2 and it produces a lot of oxygen, more so than most all other plants. As well as it's a very, very fast growing plant. So to look at it as a farming crop opportunity, that's actually a really good thing. Your biggest worry, essentially, once it's established, is keeping up with the yields every year in the spring and in the fall. So enough about the sustainable stuff. Let's talk a little bit more about the economics.
Okay, so bamboo is in really high demand. It's a $60 billion global industry, and right now all of the production is being shipped over from Asia, and the USA is actually the majority consumer of all these products. That means that it's really high in demand right here domestically in the United States. And that's what our partners, OnlyMoso, an international and vertically integrated bamboo operation, is starting here in the US. They've started in southern Florida, they've started to expand, and now we're growing.
Yeah, we're in about 10 different states along the East Coast, expanding now into Texas, and here in the near future along the West Coast as well. But our primary operations right now are on the southern East Coast, and headquarters are located in Florida, and that is where our packing house is located that provides the guaranteed purchase agreement with the farmers to purchase their crops, wash them, ship them right to market as fresh edible vegetables. And so where can we grow bamboo? We can't really grow it anywhere. Granted, bamboo is a plant that's very resilient and can grow in a lot of places. However, there are a few places it's not going to grow very well, and those are places where it gets cold. If the temperature at all kind of flash freezes below 0, it's going to kill the crop. So we really want to avoid anywhere that gets too cold. Anywhere that gets below 0 for up to 24 hours is kind of a no-go area. So basically, Virginia South is ideal. Nice sandy soil that drains well. We really also want to avoid heavy clay soils that pool water or don't allow water to drain as well as it otherwise should. Mainly because bamboo likes water, but it doesn't like to sit in water. So ensuring that the soil has good drainage, which can also be done with a little bit of earthworks and putting in actually drain ditches to help kind of avoid any pooling water on the land. From there, we would test the pH to make sure that it's not too acidic or too alkaline. It's a nice neutral balance, as well as the nutrient content of the soil to make sure there's not any extremes of any one nutrient over the others. As well as, like I was saying earlier, the texture of the soil. We really want to avoid a heavy clay. Anything other than that, you probably are looking at a good place to grow bamboo on a large kind of farm scale. And by large, I mean a 1 acre farm would be kind of like a hobby farm, and you'd be able to net maybe $10,000 annually on 1 acre, depending on if you do the labor. But without getting too much of those details, we can do as small as 1 acre farms, but ideally, 5, 10, even 100 acres is really where the opportunity lies. So that's kind of like, the soil qualifying. Once the farm land itself is qualified and vetted, then we kind of look at what species of plant would go get best in your specific geographical location. And for this plant species, I'll hand it over to JC.
That's right. Bamboo, not just any bamboo is going to be profitable. Some bamboos are used for ornamental purposes like landscaping and gardening. Some of it grows really tall, some of it's actually pretty short. But here with OnlyMoso, we only care about farming bamboo that is both tasty in their edible shoots, so they're producing really nice shoots to eat, and then also producing really large timber canes. And there's only a few species that actually do the both of those.
Yeah, and those are the species that we focus on primarily. And in Florida, we have tissue culture propagation nurseries that basically produce new baby plants on demand for farmers as they come online. You place an acre for 10 acres of plant, or place an order for 10 acres of plants. We have a new farmer incentive program to where we actually only charge 50% up front for the plants, basically breaking even on that. And then the other 50% is recouped as part of an ongoing guaranteed purchase agreement through farm yields once your farm is actually up and running. So the new farmer incentive program is really more of a partnership to grow our farmer network to meet the local demand for edible shoots and raw materials. So part of our tissue culture propagation nurseries in Florida is certified guaranteed species. You know exactly what you're going to get that are set up to their young baby plants ready to be put in the ground and reach their full potential. They haven't been sitting in a pot for a long period of time, which stunts their growth, as well as they're not in the ground already that we would dig up to ship to your farm, which again also affects their growth potential doing that. Ideally, you want nice, young, healthy plants that you can plant and let them reach their full potential as quickly as possible. And that's exactly what our nurseries here with OnlyMoso has set up in Florida as part of a means to really ramp up farmer production here domestically. In general, the demand, we forecast we can reach 100,000 acres of bamboo production here domestically, whereas right now we're at about just over 1,000. So clearly there's a lot of potential here to bring on more farmers over the next few decades, which is really exciting. Transitioning now, I mentioned some of this stuff, like the new purchase incentive program to get farmers online, and the guaranteed purchase agreement that comes along with the new farmer incentive program, the plant warranty to make sure the plants that you actually plant will survive. If for whatever reason they die on no fault of our own, we will replace those plants, no big deal, free of charge. So all of that kind of throwing a lot at you. Hope you're getting as much of this as you can. What the process looks like from start to say year one onward. Year one is the investment year, is the planting year, and is monitoring and maintenance to make sure the plants have the water they need and they don't die, basically. Year two, also monitoring and maintenance. Very easy, very labor non-intensive. And year three is actually when the farm will reach a level of capacity of around 30% capacity, year three. And in most farms, that's when actually they become cash flow positive. Operating expenses are exceeded by the income of about a 30% capacity farm. From there, year four, we ramp up to about 60% capacity. Year five, we ramp up further to 90 to 100% capacity, depending on your farm design. So at year five, being at about full capacity, you can expect, depending on your location, between $8,000 to $12,000 of net income per acre as far as farm production. And what JC and I do specifically is I built a financial model calculator, an Excel spreadsheet, to where we would sit down one-on-one with a farmer, plug in their number of acres, their startup requirements specifically on whether they want to hire labor or do it themselves, if they need to buy a lawnmower, etc., as well as the operating requirements for that specific farmer. Are they going to manage it themselves? Do they want to hire a manager, etc.? And then from there, the calculator kind of outputs an annual pro forma and a 5-year to 11-year path to profitability. So you can really kind of understand exactly the potential, as well as we would design a farm to meet your ambitions and your expectations, starting with what you want to do and then designing the farm to meet your expectations and ambitions. So that's what JC and I do specifically, the new farmer education and the business planning support to really get new farmers online. And that's really all we wanted to cover here in this class. Sorry for the technical difficulties earlier. I'll pass it over to JC and she'll kind of explain how you can get in touch with us specifically.
Sure, yeah. So we have a video posted already that really goes over our new farmer incentive program and guaranteed purchase agreement. That's easy to watch. We're going to post this too on Facebook so that y'all can watch it. And I'm so sorry that we couldn't make it happen live. On our website, there's a button. You can schedule a call with us at your convenience. It lets you see our availability, so it's really easy, and it sends you a confirmation link that will allow you to Zoom with us. And from that Zoom link, we'll be able to share our screen and show you our fancy business calculator that Josh built.
Yep. And for the first call, we can just do a simple phone call just to get connected. And then from there, do a Zoom call and go talk about all the real specifics for your farm. But that's all we got for now. Feel free to let us know your comments and questions in the comments, and visit hmbamboo.com to schedule a call with us here in the near future. Looking forward. Thank you very much, and talk to you soon.